So the market has done exactly as predicted yesterday. And if you come to the Bitcoin price action right here, you see the market came back down as predicted, moved upward. I was very sure, 90%, that the market is not going to move upward because there is a very strong resistance barrier at this very area. So right now, market is coming back down. Let me give you what I am expecting on this very price action right now. We know that tomorrow is the Fed fund rate. Okay, so in my opinion, I believe that the market is correcting, coming back down prior to the Fed fund rate. That means after the Fed fund rate, we might see a little bit of drop to the downside. Then market is going to begin to move all the way to the upside. I will do a comprehensive video tomorrow on Fed fund rates and what I am expecting Fed to do early tomorrow. That video coming forward. So from here on the Bitcoin price action, so I expect the market to come back down into this very area of important resistance, this area of $16,000, this area of $116,000, and that is what I'm expecting right now. Market should come back down from where it is right here, a little bit drop to the downside before continuation to the upside. Of course, market can come back into this very point right here. That is a possibility as well. Market can come back into this very area, okay, before the next move to the upside. But the most important thing is that this very retracement that I talked about in my immediate last video is already in progress. Market is retracing. And don't think that market is just going to flip upward. No, market is going to move upward if we see this resistance right here breaks out. And I made mention of this in my earlier video yesterday. But the most important thing is that there is resistance playing out on this very area right now. It's actually playing out, which means market will not just flip it upward. However, that possibility is there, but what you should expect on the immediate short term and what I am personally paying attention to right now on the Bitcoin price action for our chart, the BTCUSDT, is for the market to come back down either to this point before the next move upward, or market come back down a little bit into this area between $115,000 and $114,000 before the final move upward. Now, pay attention because I still maintain my stand about the market not going below $115,000 and $114,000. This is my personal opinion about the market and what is ongoing on price action BTCUSDT. Market should come back down. And if you look at ETH, exactly as predicted, look at it right here. Market come back down into this very point of resistance, which now turns support at this very point. That was what I predicted yesterday exactly happened, guys. And if you look at it, market moved up a little bit and then now market is coming in right here. So what next for the market? Because I don't think market will drop into this very area. Of course, I am keeping my eye on this very point because market has possibility of dropping into this very area of $3,500, $3,400. However, there is a little point of interest, just like we saw in the case of Bitcoin on Ethereum at this very point. Just a very little area of interest right here, okay? And that is why this very point is important. So if we see a breakout, just like we are seeing right now on the ETH USD price action, that means market have capacity of coming into this very area, okay? So pay attention to this, is very important. So a breakout here, market is going to come back down, okay, before the next move upward. So this retracement is still in progress as expected yesterday. Market is still going to move downward, okay, before the final move to the upside. And pay attention because the 1 day chart is very, very strong. The 1 week chart is very, very strong. So personally, I am not expecting a crazy dump on the price of ETH. That is not what I'm expecting. I'm just expecting a little bit of drop on the 4-hour chart. Of course, the 4-hour chart is not a higher time frame chart compared to the 1-day chart and the 1-week chart. These two charts are very strong. They have a very strong bullish sentiment on the price of ETH, which means market have capability of moving all the way to the upside on the 1-day chart and the 1-week chart. That is why on the 4-hour chart, expecting retracement on the 4-hour chart is not a bad idea. Market is going to move upward after retracement, not a crazy dump all the way to the downside. Of course, market can come here, break here, and come back into this very point. That possibility is also on the price action, okay? But what I am expecting is for the market not to go below $3,300 and $3,400 on the price of ETH, because if market dump below that, it will spike fear in the market and people will begin to sell off, which will further cause more dump all the way to the downside. So what I am expecting on the immediate short term on ETH is for the market to come back down from here into this area. That is continuation of this retracement that I talked about yesterday before the next move upward, or market come back into this very area, significant retracement to $3,500 before the next move to the upside. So this point is an important level that market is going to find support before the next move upward, or this point is another important level that market is going to find support before the next move to the upside. So these are the two areas you need to pay attention to right now if you really want to be in the right direction of the market. And if you look at Pi, we are staying in this very trade. You see, markets have done below our entry point. Market move upward. That is why sometimes you may be very, very devastating if you were in the position and the market move and approach your target and all of a sudden come back to the downside. That will be very devastating, and that is what we are facing right now. However, market did not enter into our target to take us out of the market in profit. So market just spike into this very area and come back down. And sometimes you will not blame this kind of move because it's not sustained for us to look at it and see whether the market is going to come back down. However, at this very point, I tell you that market is going to come back down, and that is what we are seeing right now. So from here, market is going to have that pause. I believe market still have capacity of flipping this very market moving upward, and also the chance of market coming back down and hit us out of the market is also there as well. So pay attention to this on the price of Pi, and this is very important, especially if you are in this very trade position on the Telegram channel. And if you look at Blum have been crashing all the way to the downside as expected. Personally, I'm one of the person that was talking about Blum coming downward, and exactly as I was talking about right at this very point, because this is a descending triangular pattern. So if you don't know what chart pattern is, their interpretation and how to trade in the market, I believe you should go and watch other videos on how chart pattern works, okay? Because it's very important for you to take note of these chart patterns, know how it works, know their interpretation, so that when you see them on your price action, you can also put it in your strategy if that is the case. So from here, this was a descending triangular pattern. So when you see a descending triangular pattern on your price action, it means that the market have 70% chance, if it break out on support, of coming back to the downside, because that is the interpretation of the chart pattern. And 30% chance, if it break out here, that is against the trend, of moving upward. So in this very case, market broke out right here. So it come back down a little bit. This was a retest of this level of important resistance right here. Market retest and then begin to come back all the way to the downside. So of course, market should continue that movement all the way to the downside. And that was what I made mention of yesterday, that this very dump is going to continue exactly as expected. Markets have even gone below the level I thought market is going to come to, which is this very point of 0.05 and 0.049. So right now market is at 0.047. So what next? Will this market still continue this dump? Yes, of course. Yeah, that is what I'm expecting. Market should still continue this dump all the way to the downside. If you look at previous price action, discover that market has not dumped up to this very point before. So this is the first time market is dumping into this very region. The last time we see market dump was at this very point right here, okay? This very price level of 0.051. And right now market has dumped below that, which means this very area right here is an important point of interest, okay, before the market is going to move upward. So what I will be expecting right now is for the market to have a little bit of retracement between the 0.044, this very area, and where the market is right now. We should find retracement into this very point before retracement back down. Remember, this very line right here is a line from the previous spike. That is the lowest low dump before the market begins to move upward. So right now, market has broken on that very low, creating a new low downward, which means this very area and this very point should be our area we should expect market to bounce back into before continuation. So expect retracement to happen between this area, move upward, and then come back down. Okay, so I am still expecting more dump irregardless of any retracement we see to the upside on this very price action. This is very important, guys. Pay attention to this to be in the right direction of the market on the price of Blum. And if you look at SUI move upward. I told you guys that market is going to break out on this level of important resistance, and exactly as expected, market broke out this level right here, and afterward market began to come back down. I was talking about this retracement, and one thing very important about breakout is that there are breakouts you should not trade in the market. There are breakouts you should not trade in the market because they will make you to enter into a fake out. Look at this very area. Market broke out with this very candle, and I told you guys that if market breaks out with this candle and move upward, that movement will not be sustained. Why? Because market has been moving all the way from here. So market has already moved. Okay, there is a lot of movement before the breakout, which will signal the fact that market will not be willing to move that much. So from common sense, if you've run for a very long distance and you see a reason why you are going to win that race, then you should not be putting in so much energy because there are all reasons pointing to the fact that you're going to win. So you just do more and then you win, and then that's all. So that's the exact same thing we see right here. Market broke out, and then after I've broken out, no need to run more. So market just move a little bit upward and then retracement back down. So from this very area, expect retracement to stop. Okay, that is what I'm expecting right now on the price of SUI. From here, this very area was the last bear candle before this very bullish expansion to the upside. So from here, this is the last bearish candle before this bullish expansion to the upside, and then market is coming back down. Yeah, so this very area where the market is right now is about 0.618 retracement downward, or 0.786. So this is already between the golden pocket of the Fibonacci retracement 2. I don't want to put the Fibonacci retracement 2 on the chart, but just know that this is within that very range. You can figure that out by yourself, and market is going to come back down into this very area. That's my opinion, before the final move to the upside. And this is very important. Pay attention to this on the price of SUI to be in the right direction of the market. And if you look at coin market cap, what we saw yesterday as market capitalization was $3.93 trillion. Right now market has dropped a little bit, not very big, and $3.87 trillion. And the altcoin index have dropped a little bit, okay, to 40% over 100. So we need to see this do more, okay. 50-60 is a good thing for us to see crazy pump. Some people are predicting 70 for us to see crazy pump in the market, but for me 60 is okay for us to see crazy pump in the market. And this is very, very important. So this is what you need to pay attention to right now on this very price action, ranging from Bitcoin, ETH, Pi, Blum, and SUI. Market is going to come back to the downside. Pay attention to all of this. Now, in my next video, I'm going to do a very significant video on interest rate and why that is important, because a lot of people are talking about it. on this very channel. Check out for that video coming next. Consider supporting this channel by leaving a like for this video, subscribe if you haven't already, and turn on the bell notification for more crypto videos like this one. Also check the channel for other crypto content. Join our Telegram channel, link in the description of this video and also in the pinned comment. It is a free Telegram channel where you get signal, on-chain data, fundamental analysis, and many more. Join right now, link below. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.